Good morning from the office, folks. Is my mic hot? Test. Yeah, it's hot. I just always have a concern with that in the mornings. Good morning from the office. BKP here. Running late. It's 8:40 this morning. Had some technical difficulties on the broadcast side. Got them all worked out. Sorry about the inconvenience. Hope you're still with us. I'm going to go through some things real quick before George gets here this morning. You know, Ted Cruz keeps talking about Donald Trump being endorsed by Mike Tyson. He keeps talking about that, you know, Mike Tyson, a convicted rapist, served 3 years in Indiana State Penitentiary there, convicted of rape, has endorsed Donald Trump. Well, you know, Donald Trump didn't call Mike Tyson and say, hey, can I get your endorsement? That didn't happen, but he came out and endorsed him. But Ted Cruz seems to leave out Bobby Knight, Lou Holtz, Digger Phelps. I'm just saying, okay? He keeps leaving them out. Okay, Indiana today, Donald Trump. I'm going to go through some real quick things before George gets in here. Donald Trump is leading by 15 in Indiana today. Today's election day. I have told you over and over. Who you got there? Huh? I've told you over and over that every day that goes by that Cruz is in the race and Kasich is in the race is a day that goes by that they can't raise money for the Republican Party. I'm serious. They can't raise money for the Republican Party. I'm telling you right now, they need to get out of the race. They need to move forward. They need to see what they can do to help raise money for the Republican Party. All right, now, real quick, Nathan Deal, I think at 4:30 today, now for the state of Georgia, the campus carry bill. You seen what Governor Nathan Deal did a couple weeks ago with the religious liberty bill. He's under the same amount of pressure by different groups on the campus carry, okay? Same amount of pressure. I predict at 4:30 today, he will, Governor Nathan Deal will veto campus carry. That's sometime this afternoon, he will veto campus carry. Governor Deal is in the state of Georgia is in a position where he doesn't have to care what you think. He's not being reelected. But, you know, here's the thing is he has to care about what other people think that are running for office that may take it out on incumbents, what Nathan Deal does. But we'll see. Today is the last day in the state of Georgia. Let me wrap this up that you can, the governor has to sign legislation that passed in the last session. So look for campus carry to get vetoed at 4:30 today with a press conference somewhere in that area. That's my prediction, okay? Trump is leading in California by 34%, folks, 34%. He's leading in Indiana somewhere in the area of 15% today. And Ted Cruz will not say he's going to get out of the race. Will not say he's going to get out of the race. Have you seen the video where Carly Farina, I say Farina like Purina. Fiorina. I got to enunciate there, right, Lonnie? Fiorina. Carly Fiorina. Have you seen that?
Put the wrong emphasis on the wrong syllable.
Yeah, there you go. Fiorina. Have you seen where she fell off the stage? Now, this poor lady's out there, and she's introducing Ted Cruz. And this is absolutely hilarious. I wish I had pulled the video on this. This is absolutely hilarious, folks. She's introducing Ted Cruz, her running mate, fictitious running mate, okay? He is pretending to be the nominee, and she's pretending to be his running mate. I'm serious, folks. She's out there introducing him. She falls off the stage. You see Carly, and in the next minute she's gone. Heidi and Ted come out like nothing happened. I mean, I would have rushed over to see if she's okay. I would have checked on her. Heidi and Ted come out doing this. Carly's falling off the stage. Don't even check on the lady. Don't even acknowledge she fell. Cruz is crumbling here, and you can tell that it's getting to him. He's getting to the edge here. He gets out of the SUV. He gets out of the motorcade, and he goes over and he confronts hecklers. Why do you do this? There's a bunch of Trump supporters over waving signs. And Ted Cruz stops, gets out to go confront them. And this guy, he said, "Where's your Goldman Sachs jacket?" He asked Ted Cruz, "Where's your Goldman Sachs jacket?" And he says, the one question everybody should be asking, and the guy said, "Yeah, are you from Canada?" I mean, this thing is coming off. The wheels are coming off. He should have left before this kind of pressure mounted a week ago, but he's staying in there. Now, I've heard this over and over and over. With a 30-some point lead in California, 34% in California for Trump, and if Indiana goes for Trump tonight, okay, then I'm telling you now, Cruz has to get out of the race and make room to raise money for Senate candidates. He has to, okay? Because what did I tell you yesterday? What have I been telling you over and over, okay? Donald Trump is going to run what kind of campaign? Make America great again, right? I've told you that over and over. Senators and representatives need to run "I want to help Donald Trump make America great again" campaign. I'm just telling you right now, you need to run that. This comes from the Huffington Post. GOP Senate hopeful not ready to back Donald Trump yet. "I don't know what Donald Trump is going to be standing for in November." This came from Representative David Jolly of Florida, who is running for Florida's open Senate seat, said Sunday that he's not sure whether he would support GOP frontrunner Donald Trump in the general election. The congressman was asked whom he would support in the presidential race during a radio interview with AM 970. The answer, which BuzzFeed later highlighted. "I truly don't know," Jolly said. If you're asking me in April my position on Donald Trump in November, I don't know what Donald Trump is going to stand for in November, and so I'm certainly not going to take a position 5 or 6 months out. Now, David Jolly is running in Florida in an open seat that Marco Rubio left open, okay? Folks, Florida went for Donald Trump big, absolutely big. Very, very big numbers for Trump in Florida. Donald Trump, now I told you about Pat Toomey, okay, in Pennsylvania. Donald Trump not only won Florida by large numbers, he beat Jeb Bush. Remember, Jeb Bush was a very popular governor in Florida, people, very popular governor. He beat longtime hometown Little Marco. He beat Little Marco, sitting senator in Florida. And this guy doesn't know if he wants to support or endorse Donald Trump. I'm telling you, folks, you need to understand, in November, I will tell you today, if the Senate is lost to the Democrats, and if the House, which would be that would be a big thing if the House, but the Senate, if the Senate is lost to the Democrats, I'm telling you right now, the Republicans did it to themselves. They brought it on themselves. That's what I'm looking for. They brought it on themselves. If that happens, here's this guy in Florida. He doesn't know. And the article says Donald Trump may be a drag on the ticket. GOP Senate hopeful not ready to back Donald Trump yet. I'm telling you, folks, if the Republican Party messes this up. Now, I think today, if you're a member of your local Republican Party, your local chair should not ever endorse candidates or start talking about the endorsement of a candidate until they have a nominee, and that's what the Republican Party does, is they're supposed to support their nominee that has been elected. So hopefully after tonight, the Republican Party could just start coming out and saying, hey, you need to get your candidates behind our candidate nationally. That's what has to happen. You need to get your candidate behind our candidate nationally. Now, will that happen? Because we have May and we have June. Now, Hillary is already running. Now, Bernie Sanders said there'll be a contested contest at the Democrat convention. But we all know there's nothing to that. Really, we don't think so. And Hillary is the front runner and she is the nominee. And the Democrats are at least ready to say this is our nominee and she is already campaigning. If our Senate candidates lose May and lose June, now you already see some of the sound bites that's coming back to haunt Carly. How do you say her last name, Lonnie? Fiorina? Fiorina, yeah. Look at the sound bites already coming back to haunt Carly Fiorina. You give these down ticket candidates 2 months of sound bites, and then all of a sudden they jump on board with Donald Trump. I'm telling you, don't do it. Tonight is the night. Now, the problem does not all lie in the RNC, the national RNC. All of these state conventions, you have the Georgia State Convention, you have Colorado, you have Nevada, you have Arizona. Look what happened out in Arizona. The state RNC conventions is where your problem lies. So the state RNC, Donald Trump won Georgia, period. It's done and over. So the state RNC in Georgia needs to come out and say to their down ticket candidates, hey, you might want to grab onto this, okay? Same thing with all of your states. You might want to tell them that. So we're going to say tonight, these local candidates need to pick up the mantle and say, hey, we're going to run behind Donald Trump, and our campaign is, I want to help Donald Trump make America great again. Donald Trump keeps calling Bernie poor Bernie. And the reason he keeps talking about Bernie in a positive way, he keeps saying his ideals won't work, Bernie's ideals, he's out there, it won't work, but look at the way Bernie's being treated. So he is really being nice to Bernie, and he even said yesterday that Bernie's voters are going to vote for him. Hey, I'm telling you, Trump's on to something here. Iran has warned us. We'll talk about that with George at 9 o'clock. They have warned us. And then Puerto Rico missed their $400 million debt payment yesterday. We'll talk about that a little later in the show. And would somebody give Glenn Beck a sandwich and tell him it's over? I mean, sir, Jimmy John's. Somebody call Jimmy John's, send a sandwich to Glenn Beck. He's on another one of those. I mean, you know what? The guy's going to lose his TV empire. I mean, it's the bottom line, he's going to lose his TV empire. I hear Fox is struggling in the ratings to CNN. I mean, Trump turned everything upside down. Everything. Media. I mean, I have seen reports that Fox is slipping in the ratings to CNN. Wolf Blitzer? This is the guy that, remember in Desert Storm, the first Iraq war? Wasn't this the guy that reported from under the bed? Didn't he? Or was that Peter Arnett? Was that Peter Arnett or Wolf Blitzed? Or Wolf Blitzed? I can't say Blitzer, he got blitzed. So was it Wolf Blitzed or Peter Arnett? I think it was Wolf Blitz was under the bed right there, and he could hear the bombs going off. Anyhow, Glenn Beck, fast one day for God to help us, help the U.S. Yeah, this is 18 hours ago. Glenn Beck, former Fox host and founder of The Blaze, that's going down in flames, media products, called on America to join him for a fast in the lead up to the presidential primary here. Give the guy a sandwich and tell him it's over. Glenn, it's over. Relax, go home. These men here in the white coats, they can help you. They could talk. They could talk to you. Okay, so go ahead. You could do that now. Something before I go to break here. The Fannin County Board of Commissioners last night. I want to do this before we go to break. The Fannin County Board of Commissioners called a special called meeting, and the special called meeting was for because of the EEOC lawsuit, Equal Employment Occupation Commission or something, or whatever they are. The EEOC lawsuit that they've been messing with for about 3 years now, the insurance company settled it. Now listen to this, folks. There was the county attorney, Lynn Doss, explained last night that the county had won every stage up to the last stage, and that the former employees that got an attorney to sue the county, the civil attorney sued the insurance company, and the insurance company wanted to settle, but they had a mediation. The county attorney said that she called and asked if she needed to be present for the mediation, and they said no, that the insurance lawyer would handle the mediation. But then the county attorney, Lynn Doss, also said that they were ready to go to court, and the county had decided to go to court because they had won every phase and they knew they would win this one. But she did not attend the mediation because she was told she didn't need to. During the mediation, the insurance company agreed on over $200,000 payout from the insurance company. Now, what we heard last night, and I have the video, you'll need to go over this yourself and watch it later when I put it up. So what I heard last night is unbeknownst to the county, they settled it. And when they settled it, the county had to send the checks to the insurance company. The insurance company reimbursed the county for the amount. That's a long story. But the point is, the county said last night, and Bill Simons, that they did not get an option to turn it down, to take it to court. They didn't get that option. It's just something still doesn't. We still got to look at this a little closer. Why didn't the county attorney go to the mediation meeting? Okay. Anyhow, so last night Bill Simons made a motion that all checks over $4,500 had to be signed by 2 commissioners now. Because what happened, the other thing in question, is Bill Simons signed 3 or 4 checks in the area of $50,000 to send to the insurance company, and then the insurance company reimbursed the county, but he's not supposed to, according to the rules they have, he's supposed to get approval on any checks over $4,500. So they made a deal last night that any check over $4,500 had to have 2 signatures in Fannin County. We'll talk about that a little more later. Look, President said he's okay with the N-word. Yes, that's right. He said he's okay with the N-word. Did UPS endorse Doug Collins? Now, Lonnie, I'm gonna look at.
Wait, hang on.
Did it pull up? You're doing a lot of clicking over there. Is it froze up now?
Go for it. It's up.
Okay, that's a UPS truck, folks. Is that what they're saying, Lonnie? All right, that's a UPS truck, okay? UPS has proprietary over their trucks. They build them for them. So we're going to stay with that. We're going to come back from commercial. I want to leave you looking at this UPS truck, okay?
You had to
got it, Lonnie?
convince Chris to...
All right, take us to a break. We're going to be back. And when we come back, George is going to be in here with us. And we're going to start with this story because I don't know if there's a problem here or not. And I do know we will talk about the UPS truck after this break. Lonnie, take us to break.
Save big on service at Schadenkerk. Get a full-service oil change for only $29.99. That's right. Get an oil and filter change, tire rotation, brake check, AC check, and multi-point inspection, all for just $29.99.
Give us a shot at Schadenkerk.
Get the $29.99 oil change special at Schadenkerk Ford or any of our convenient locations in the heart of Georgia.
As Bentley says, give us a shot at Schadenkerk.
Online at SchadenkerkAtlanta.com.
Hi, I'm Rhonda the Mattress Lady, and this is my husband Gary, owners of Mattress Overstocked and LJ next to Walmart. And we want to earn your business. From the time you walk in our door to the time we deliver your new mattress to your door, you will see the difference. Our selection and prices are the best in North Georgia, and customer service is our top priority. So y'all come on in and let us help you find the right mattress at the right price. That's Mattress Overstocked and LJ next to Walmart.
El Rey and Ellijay.
El Rey Mexican Restaurant.
Family owned and operated and a local favorite for families, parties, and meetings.
Great prices.
Friendly service and delicious Mexican cuisine.
Patio dining available.
Come sing in Carlos's Cantina every Friday 9 to 1.
Eat in or take away.
Same location for 14 years. Open 7 days at the corner of Maddox Drive and 515. North Georgia's favorite Mexican cuisine. El Rey and Ellijay.
Only Pizza Hut delivers 2 medium pizzas any way you want for just $6.99 each. Get any quality toppings, any crust, and any 2 freshly made medium pizzas. Get your favorite high-quality specialties like meat lovers or backyard barbecue chicken, just $6.99 each. Only at Pizza Hut.
What you gonna do with all that junk?
Trust. Round here, we trust people who get things done. Like our state representative, David Ralston. He's cut taxes and balanced the state budget every year. And Ralston delivers. New roads, new jobs, a new university, and the toughest immigration laws in America. Those Washington guys talk big, but never deliver. Round here, we trust David Ralston. Ralston gets it done.
In 2015, our Gilmer County Probate Court heard over 1,300 criminal cases, 250 estate and guardianship matters, and probated or administered 110 plus wills. Those are very serious issues, and experience matters. We talked about the fact that every county with more than 96,000 people has a licensed attorney as their probate judge. The state requires it. They don't hear different cases. They don't hear different matters, and I don't believe that the due process you receive when you go to the probate court should be based off the county you live in. You want to have a judge who's been there, who's been on the other side of the bench, who's argued that, who knows it, and who can help you. Because compassion isn't always just about being able to listen, but it's being able to do something when you do listen. Experience matters, and I will use my experience in my private practice, in the U.S. Attorney's Office, and in 2 judges' chambers for the people of Gilmer County.
North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds. Come on in to view the area's largest selection of fine jewelry at North Georgia Diamond. All repairs and designs are done on site by our jewelers. And North Georgia Diamond has the lowest prices on loose diamonds. You can also sell your gold, silver, and coins at North Georgia Diamond between Walmart and Lowe's in East Ellijay. Locally owned by Bill and Allison Craig, North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds in North Georgia.
Better days ahead. Truck Month is back at your new Days Chevrolet in Jasper with savings up to $8,000 off MSRP. Right now, get a roomy new Chevy Equinox for just $23,200, or get Days max discount on a new Silverado Crew Cab, just $31,900, plus instant easy credit with Days Fast Track Credit Center. But these Truck Month savings won't last long. Get to Days Chevrolet in Jasper, where Chevy cars and trucks cost less.
Better days ahead, Days Chevrolet.
Find new roads.
Make sure his mic's hot. Hey, and we're back. Good morning from the office, North Georgia's only live online morning show. Good morning, George. How are you?
Oh, I couldn't be better. Good morning. Rained all night long at my
Yes,
house.
yes, it did. Yes, it did.
Put out the raging forest fires.
Yeah, the raging forest fires have been put out in Georgia. You're right about that. George, when we left for break, I started a story, and you can see it here. George can see it on the screen. Now, folks, you're going into the mailbox, George, and you can't get your mail out of there because there's all these push cards in there. You pull one out, and there's, Ralston gets things done, and you pull the next one out, and Steve Gooch is doing something. You pull the next one out, and Paul Brown, and on and on and on. Well, now, I don't know. This has been sent to me, and I was told, sources tell me this has been sent to UPS's legal department. That's what sources say, that they're looking at it. Now, if he got permission, I don't know, but it's interesting. Hey, look, I'm used to candidates going after their opponent. I mean, that just happens, right? So that doesn't bother me when I see that. They're going to go after their opponent. But UPS has proprietary rights over this piece of equipment. It's written, built, specs, everything. They own that piece of equipment.
And the message on it.
And the message on it, exactly. And as you can see on the front nose, you got 66 on the screen. You might not be able to see it, but it's 669107. And you see the driver, right? Everything. Lonnie, let's go to that number 2 picture. See if it comes up. Tell me when you got it there on the screen so I can explain it. Huh?
So.
Okay. Folks, they took the body of the truck. They took the DOT number off. They did take the DOT number off. But somebody forgot to take, if you look up there by the nose, the 669107 off.
And they changed the identity of the driver. That's Paul Brown.
They photoshopped Paul Brown's head. The arm is on the steering wheel in the same place.
Same picture.
This is a UPS driver with a UPS uniform on.
Yes, there it is.
I'm just telling you, I hope they have. I really hope they have something in their files that says
that they can do that.
Yes.
And that's the Collins campaign.
Yes, the Collins campaign sent this out. Now, whoever does their push cards had this great idea. I told somebody yesterday, I'd have changed the color of the truck to green or something. You'd still known it was UPS truck, but I would have made a better effort than to say Paul Brown brought us indictments and overdrafts on a UPS truck. Now, here's the thing I like. Look, can you go back to number 1? Go back to number 1. Can you go back there, Lonnie?
Yeah, it's up.
Okay. Look, folks, the red box is here. It's here. Just look again at number 1. Everything, the little marking over the gas tank, everything. His feet are in the same place. This is a UPS driver. Let's go back to number 2.
I'm going side by side.
You got them side by side. Lonnie's going fast one on me here. All right, way to go. Now, what we got? See here? Little socks, shirt, Paul Brown's head. And they took the DOT number but forgot to take UPS's.
And they made the truck look dirty. And I never see a dirty.
But they forgot to get that. Now, folks, for the last picture, and this is going to cover up George and I, but George, check this out. Who paid for this? Look at the back of this truck. Okay? In the top right-hand corner, folks, I don't know if Lonnie can't zoom in on it, it says U.S. paid postage by Stone Ridge Group. Who is the Stone Ridge Group? Z Politics. That's what it keeps coming back to. Paul Brown attack mailer was published and mailed by the Stone Ridge Group. This is the same company that owns the news for hire called Z Politics. Okay? And this is who mailed it out and did I mean, you would think they're professionals. And what they say on the back is, we know what Brown did for us. Now, it's a great play on words, but what did Brown do for you? You know, as big as UPS is, they own that logo. What did Brown do for you? We know what Brown did for us. It's a great play on words, but I don't know if UPS is going to be very excited about this. Scandal and embarrassment, nearly bankrupt taxpayer funds, hired campaign consultants without taxpayer funds. That's photoshopped on a UPS truck. And folks, no more scandals. Vote no to Paul Brown. We're not saying that here. We do not endorse candidates. Who's it paid for by?
Stone.
No, paid for by Collins for Congress.
Shocking. Bill, take control of your guy out there.
Well, I'm just telling you. Now, look, let me just say something. The congressman, he's not a pushover. Hey, look, the guy showed up for a debate. I have offered debates to people, several different candidates that keep not turning me down, but they keep giving me the runaround, okay? Doug Collins sat down with his opponents and went to the mat for an hour in a debate. That I got to give this guy. He did that, okay? Last week, I was under the impression, I was told that Johnny Isaacson, Senator Isaacson, would be at the Fannin County forum. Fannin County Tea Party's holding a forum, that he would be there.
The horseshoe bend thing?
Yes. That was last Wednesday. On Thursday, after it was announced that Derek Grayson would attend, Johnny Isaacson realized he had 2 calendar books.
Oh, shocking.
And he had a calendar conflict, is my understanding, and he will not be there Saturday.
I'm shocked.
Johnny, I'm going to tell you, in the past, when you've run in the state of Georgia, there's polls that Johnny Isaacson was the most likable politician in the state of Georgia.
Lovely fellow. Charming.
Okay, yes, absolutely. But you know what? You owe it to the voters to come and answer questions. You owe it to your voters to come answer questions. You have opponents. And your opponents and the voters want to hear from you. Now, we feel, George, Johnny has announced he has Parkinson's. And our thoughts and prayers go out to him and his family, and we wish him well in his health.
We do indeed, yes.
But the kind of disease Parkinson's, I think he's 70 years old, Parkinson's, that what it does to you. Washington is a grueling place. Nobody goes to Washington and comes home looking the same. What's the old expression? It looked like you've been rode hard and put away wet, right?
Yeah, they come back gray-haired alcoholics and rich.
Gray-haired alcoholics and rich, I like that. But the point is, can he serve a 6-year term with his health?
I don't think so.
Huh?
He can. All he can do is convince us that he can.
Let him stand up and tell the voters that. Quit hiding behind the party, because the party's 100% behind him. Quit hiding behind the party. Quit waiting for thinking that it's going to be a slam dunk against the Democrat, and debate your opponents now. What do you say?
Got to. That's where they're at. And he's
Folks, we're gonna put this up. Lonnie will put this up, and we'll call it. We know what did Brown do for Collins, but that's the Doug Collins campaign, and that's what you got in your mailbox. And I'm just interested in. You might ask me why it's a big deal, because last week or week before last, Mike Scupine and General Bernie Fontaine signed a letter to the FEC complaining about the Stone Ridge Group, and people came out and made fun of them, that it was, they were just conspiracy theorists. And then this comes out in the mail from the Stone Ridge Group, paid for Doug Collins, and clearly used a UPS truck. They didn't get all the numbers off.
Sounds like a conspiracy.
I hear that they have already sent that to UPS's attorneys. I hear that they have a hold of it.
Probably.
Huh?
Probably. I have no doubt. They need to get that off right away. They need to attack. As long as if they want to try to defeat Doug Collins, then they've got to attack Doug Collins and continue the attack. Why? To put Doug Collins on the defensive.
He's a fierce opponent. They had a meeting last night over in Habersham. I didn't get to go. I'd like to know really what happened over there. I'd like to know how that meeting went last night, if anybody could tell me over in Habersham, because the congressman was there last night. But he's a fierce opponent. He knows how to campaign. Now he voted for the omnibus bill. But I'll tell you what, now he'll fight you right back on why he did, and whether you agree with him or not, the guy will debate you.
He's got to convince us. He can fight back.
But
he's got to convince us.
Yeah, but
I'm not convinced.
but this right here, Collins is big league. He knows how to campaign, and I am caught off guard. They let that go out.
Well, they didn't ask you.
You
said that was
I am caught off guard that somebody did not catch that and say, I don't know, we better not. Well, we'll see. We'll see what the attorneys say. George, Indiana, double-digit lead.
Well, that's all the news this morning. The fellow who's filling in for Hugh Hewitt is all he's talking about. And he's taking, it's not that he's doing all the talking, he's taking phone calls from anybody who calls on the Indiana thing. And there's some wonderful phone calls. He made a comparison, interestingly, with Ted Cruz, challenging some Trump supporters in a 7-minute dialogue between.
I watched that 3 times this morning.
That was interesting. That was very interesting. I'm proud of Ted. He hung in there and he stuck to his talking points and his arguments, which are undeniably true, and the other guy stuck to his as well. So. It's a toss-up, but what is interesting to me is that Obama has said that Trump is not equipped to be president. Now, exactly what he means is in the article, but Obama was not equipped to be president. And he's still not equipped, and he's almost over 8 years, and he's still not equipped to be president. Read today or yesterday, I think I sent out an email called Looking Back, Looking Forward, discusses, and then I wrote one this morning, not out yet, it's called The Legacy, the wonderful legacy of Obama's, or the wonderful glory of Obama's legacy, and I address these very things and why he's such a failed president. And if you really want to get interesting, go to your computer, go to the Al Jazeera website, and they hate Obama. They absolutely hate him for his ineffectiveness, his inexperience, his unqualified position. I cannot believe it. And nowhere, I mean, that's a wonderful site just to get the other side.
Well, you know what? I was watching Morning Joe, and Joe Scarborough said, and I have to agree with Joe on this, he said, why did Cruz get out of the car and engage these Trump supporters? you know when you walk up to them and you give them all your talking points, they're not going to look at you and say, oh, you made a great point. Now I'm going to vote for you. So you know you're not going over to this crowd and win them over. So why did you even engage them? And the guy asked him, he said, where's your Goldman Sachs jacket? Oh, that was my favorite. You know, where's your Goldman? And that guy had nerve. I mean, he's talking to Ted Cruz. Where's your Goldman Sachs jacket? And Ted Cruz said, you know the question every American should be asking? And he said, yeah, are you from Canada? Oh my God. Get in the car, man. Leave these guys alone. What are you doing? This is going to be played on every night show. Every comedian's going to have this. Every morning show is going to. They're playing it everywhere.
Bill Maher.
Oh my God. Why did you even get out of the car? Trump's up 15 points. This is probably makes what? The fourth or fifth Tuesday in a row that I've asked you the same question. And I don't quite understand it myself. I'm getting a little confused on what may really be happening.
You know, your chair is breaking and it's leaning sideways.
I know that.
Be careful that you don't fall and hurt
I know
yourself.
that.
What was your question?
Would you pick me up if I fell? Because
I
Cruz
would.
didn't pick up Carly.
I would.
Carly fell and Cruz didn't. He just kept on talking and waving. Man, Carly just fell off the stage and Ted Cruz just kept going.
We're friends.
Okay.
I would help you up.
Now, let me ask you this question. Cruz loses tonight in Indiana.
Probably.
Double digit. It's
Probably.
15, double digit. Does he get out of the race? Now, he's already said he's going to go to California. Should he get out of the race?
No, not yet. California,
Why?
I told you the other day. It will not happen until after California.
But every day that goes by, they are hurting. Now, I'm going to use the word lie, and I don't like to say they lied to us. I don't like that, but it just comes down.
Shading the truth?
No, it just comes down to the fact they've lied to us. Now, we've heard this over and over. If you give us the House, okay, we can do this. If you give us the House and Senate, we can stop Obama.
Oh, you're talking about the
All right.
GOP?
Right.
Oh, absolutely.
Now, if you give us the House, the Senate, and the White House, we can really make it happen. If that's true, if there's an ounce of truth in that we need that third branch, the executive branch. We got two. GOP has two. We need the executive branch. Donald Trump needs to go down to Congress, needs to take a trip down to Capitol Hill, needs to be on all the media, needs to be where the president took a trip to Capitol Hill and gave his agenda. Gentlemen, this is my agenda. This is what I want to do. Get to work on it. That should be on every news flash. It'll be very sad if the meeting is with a Senate majority leader that's a Democrat, a House of Representatives majority leader that's a Republican, and a Republican president. That would be bad. They got to get on board with Trump now, and the down ticket has to.
They're starting to realize that.
The guy in Florida come out yesterday that's running for the open seat and says he can't say he'll support him.
Well, he's not one of the ends yet. He's got to win an election. Once they win an election, then they have to realize the possibilities of, the GOP, whatever happens in this election, the GOP as we know it is probably disintegrating and ruined. The American Conservative Party, or whatever you want to call it, the Tea Partiers, has got to assume the mantle of conservatism in America because the Republican Party has pissed it away. It's just not there anymore. They do nothing.
Let's say they squandered. That was
you cannot squander. Well, they can't squander. That takes a long time to squander. They have just thrown it away.
All right. Do we have the time for the next? Do we have the time for the next president? What is it? January 20th, inauguration day, around the 20th. Do we have a time for the next president before something bad in the world breaks out?
It'll happen before then.
That is something that nobody's talking about, and I have a concern that somebody's going to do something knowing that Donald Trump will not stand for it. The point being is, Iranian Supreme Leader warns U.S. flee the Persian Gulf. The Iran Supreme Leader Khamenei on Monday warned the United States against keeping military presence in the Persian Gulf and vowed that the Islamic Republic will continue to carry out a range of war drills in the area, despite warnings. We may say we don't care what he says. I believe those people.
You know what he'll do? He'll try to sink an aircraft carrier. One of our nuclear aircraft carriers. That's all we've got are nuclear aircraft carriers. We have no more gas turbine or Navy standard fuel oil aircraft carriers anymore. We have a massive, massive war machine out there. Each of our 18 aircraft carriers, each one, has so much armaments and weapons on it that each one is more than the entire stockpile of Canada, Germany, France, and England combined in warfighting capability. Sink one, and America's done. And he's got, Iran has been developing these missiles, buying them from North Korea.
Iran threatens us.
Yeah.
China threatens us.
Yes, and North
Russia
Korea.
threatens us.
North Korea.
North Korea, yeah, but they threaten us, and we just gave them billions of dollars, and we just released money and thawed out their assets, and so they can get them back.
So they can sink our aircraft carrier.
And their nuclear program has continued full steam ahead. Russians are flying within 50 feet of our aircraft carriers down there over in the Baltic. I mean, do we have till January 20th till something breaks out?
Well, I've said, no, we don't. Something will happen before then.
Boy, I hope we're both wrong, folks. I really do. I hope we're both wrong, and for the good of our country, I hope we're both wrong. And I know we don't want something to happen, but I mean, you read stuff like Iran today. The enemy's utter words bigger than their mouth is what we're saying. For instance, they developed plans of bringing to a halt Iran military war games in Persian Gulf. What a foolish remark. Go ahead, George. We go to break, but go ahead.
The cheapest, most outlandish, destructive device that can be done is to attack our airports. Brussels showed us what they're going to do next. If you go to just down here to Atlanta Airport, and sometimes there's as much as a 30-minute waiting line now that the summer season is here of hundreds of people trying to go through those machines to get to their airplanes. They do not need to bomb an airplane. They are not looking to take over an airplane. All they've got to do is get up to the machine with a hand-carried bomb and detonate it inside the terminal right there where TSA is. Game over. TSA, the whole program is useless. It's useless. They can do nothing to stop terrorism. All they can do is keep people from getting on an airplane with some bottle of water or something. But if it's detonated right there where the machines are, and I wrote this up in one of my essays, they will have accomplished their terroristic end. And if they did it simultaneously in New York, Newark, Los Angeles, Atlanta, the big airports, whoa. That would be countermount to the 9/11 attack.
Absolutely. We're going to take a break now, folks. I'm your host, BKP. Good morning from the office, North Georgia's only live online morning show. We're going to take a brief break, and we'll be back right after these messages.
Save big on service at Schadenkirk. Get a full-service oil change for only $29.99. That's right. Get an oil and filter change, tire rotation, brake check, AC check, and multi-point inspection, all for just $29.99.
Give us a shot at Schadenkirk.
Get the $29.99 oil change special at Schadenkirk Ford or any of our convenient locations in the heart of Georgia.
As Bentley says, give us a shot at Schadenkirk.
Online at SchadenkirkAtlanta.com.
Hi, I'm Rhonda Rhonda the Mattress Lady, and this is my husband Gary, owners of Mattress Overstocked in LJ next to Walmart. And we want to earn your business. From the time you walk in our door to the time we deliver your new mattress to your door, you will see the difference. Our selection and prices are the best in North Georgia, and customer service is our top priority. So y'all come on in and let us help you find the right mattress at the right price. That's Mattress Overstocked in LJ next to Walmart.
El Rey and Ellijay.
El Rey Mexican Restaurant.
Family owned and operated, and a local favorite for families, parties, and meetings.
Great prices.
Friendly service and delicious Mexican cuisine.
Patio dining available.
Come sing in Carlos's Cantina every Friday 9 to 1.
Eat in or take away.
Same location for 14 years. Open 7 days at the corner of Maddox Drive and 515. North Georgia's favorite Mexican cuisine. El Rey and Ellijay.
Only Pizza Hut delivers 2 medium pizzas any way you want for just $6.99 each. Get any quality toppings, any crust, and any 2 freshly made medium pizzas. Get your favorite high-quality specialties like meat lovers or backyard barbecue chicken, just $6.99 each. Only at Pizza Hut.
What you gonna do with all that junk?
Trust. Round here, we trust people who get things done. Like our state representative, David Ralston. He's cut taxes and balanced the state budget every year. And Ralston delivers new roads, new jobs, a new university, and the toughest immigration laws in America. Those Washington guys talk big, but never deliver. Round here, we trust David Ralston. Ralston gets it done.
In 2015, our Gilmer County Probate Court heard over 1,300 criminal cases, 250 estate and guardianship matters, and probated or administered 110 plus wills. Those are very serious issues, and experience matters. You know, we talked about the fact that every county with more than 96,000 people has a licensed attorney as their probate judge. The state requires it. They don't hear different cases. They don't hear different matters, and I don't believe that the due process you receive when you go to the probate court should be based off the county you live in. You want to have a judge who's been there, who's been on the other side of the bench, who's argued that, who knows it, and who can help you. Because compassion isn't always just about being able to listen, but it's being able to do something when you do listen. Experience matters, and I will use my experience in my private practice, in the U.S. Attorney's Office, and in 2 judges' chambers for the people of Gilmer County.
North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds. Come on in to view the area's largest selection of fine jewelry at North Georgia Diamond. All repairs and designs are done on site by our jewelers. And North Georgia Diamond has the lowest prices on loose diamonds. You can also sell your gold, silver, and coins at North Georgia Diamond between Walmart and Lowe's in East Ellijay. Locally owned by Bill and Allison Craig, North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds in North Georgia.
Better days ahead.
Truck Month is back at your new Days Chevrolet in Jasper with savings up to $8,000 off MSRP. Right now, get a roomy new Chevy Equinox for just $23,200, or get Days max discount on a new Silverado Crew Cab, just $31,900, plus instant easy credit with Days Fast Track Credit Center. But these Truck Month savings won't last long. Get to Days Chevrolet in Jasper, where Chevy cars and trucks cost less.
Better days ahead. Days Chevrolet.
Find new roads.
Okay, we're back. BKP here. Good morning from the office. North Georgia's only live online morning show. I'm here with George, my co-host. George, I guess if a 8-year-old in school walks up and says to the teacher, "Yo, my N-word," it's okay. I guess it's okay.
No, I don't think so.
I think it is. I think it's okay. I think it's okay now because the White House is cool. That's what they said. The White House is cool with Larry Wilmore's use of the N-word. That's what was said. Comedian Larry Wilmore did not offend President Barack Obama when he used the N-word during a speech at the White House Correspondents' Dinner over the weekend. The White House insisted what the president said is that he appreciated the spirit of Mr. Wilmore's expressions on Saturday night. So it's all in the spirit. It's all in the fun of things.
It is. I finished that essay this
Well,
morning.
then do
on
me a
that very
favor.
subject.
Bring in Pollock jokes tomorrow. You got some?
Pollock, well, yeah.
You got some good Italian jokes?
I still got Consuela Schlepsky, who cuts my hair from time to time. Of course, I have to sit on the floor because she's a midget. But she's.
I mean, it's in the if it's in the spirit of things, we could tell jokes about Germans, we could tell jokes about Russians, as long as we keep it in the spirit of things, George. What the heck's wrong with this guy? I mean, what is wrong with this guy? How can you release that? I mean, how can he not come out and condemn that? All right? I don't know. I just wanted to throw that in there. It's very disgusting. Puerto Rico missed a $400 million bond payment yesterday.
You know why? They have no money.
I know they have no
They're
money.
broke.
They're broke.
They want us to bail them out. Us, American taxpayers.
I don't have the time right now because of what happened with technicals. We had a caller. I apologize. We do want to get you on. We hope you can come back tomorrow, but due to some technical issues earlier this morning, we're not able to get into callers. Let me ask you a question. Why is the media wanting us to believe Kasich is the only one that can beat Hillary?
Well, he's the only company man. And they think that a company man, a moderate GOP candidate, will carry on the tradition of the last 40 years of the GOP and can beat Hillary. But it's not going to happen. There's a sea change in American politics, and we're in the middle of it right now. We're at the top of the wave in this onrushing tide to sweep all this crap before us. That's why Bernie Sanders is popular as a populist, and why Trump is popular as a populist. Why Ted Cruz dared interface with those Trump supporters in Indiana yesterday and had his head handed to him, or practically. People are in for a change. Big change is coming. Hillary is not going to win.
What's the consolation prize for Ted Cruz? What's behind door number 2? Because he has worked the state conventions hard. He's got a group of people that's worked all the state conventions. So, but Trump after Indiana tonight will easily get enough in California, and then you have New Jersey with 41 or whatever. So Trump gets to 1237. They've been wanting us to believe for months that Trump can't get. And if I see another daggone graphic on the wall that says the pathway to 1237, and they put it up 12 different times or different ways, Trump will easily surpass the 1237. That's my prediction. They finally said it today. If he wins Indiana, then up 34 points in California. Easily, there's enough in California. 198 delegates or something, 178. I mean, big numbers in California.
Big numbers. Yep.
So he easily passes it. What's the consolation prize for Ted Cruz?
Supreme Court.
Supreme Court?
Or he can go back and to Texas and try to be governor one day.
No, I don't think that's in the cards.
That's under his radar now. He's past that Rubicon. He shot for the big prize and missed it. His value to America for the rest of his life will be on the Supreme Court as a constitutional.
I will support him as the nominee for a Supreme Court justice.
Yeah. Trump was asked that question. He said, "Well, I have to think about it." But that gets him out of the way forever. he's not going to be run for president ever again.
Yeah, but you know what? There is a unwritten respect that you have for your opponent that knows how to fight to the end. And there is something to be said for Cruz being last man standing. You realize Donald Trump's smart enough to realize that the country rejected Jeb Bush. The country rejected Lindsey Graham. They rejected these candidates.
Oh yeah, he knows that. Yeah.
Now, although Trump has easily surpassed Cruz, the country hasn't totally rejected Cruz.
That's right.
You understand? He's still there.
And
I don't think still there today, but he has stayed in the race for good reason up to points. I think last Tuesday should have been it, and when he didn't win a county in 5 states.
He'll be the elephant in the room, so to speak, gorilla, whatever.
He has elephant Republican, no pun intended. There has to be a consolation prize for Cruz, because the one thing I know Donald Trump has to respect the guy that he keeps hitting and keeps getting back up. If you're a fighter, and you got to be looking and say, you know what? I've kicked the guy in the teeth. He's missing all of his teeth. I knocked off his right ear. One of his eyes are black shut. And he gets up. He's like Rocky. And how did Rocky get up in that 9th round, right?
Go one more time.
But what did Apollo Creed do? He knew he had an unwritten respect for Rocky. I mean, I hate to use that analogy, but Trump has to have some sort of respect behind the scenes for Ted Cruz being the fighter.
Well, I hope so, because this is coming down to the wire, and one or two of them is going to get knocked out of the ring. And America cannot afford to be without the skills that Ted Cruz brings. And right now, those skills are the Constitution, and I think he should be the Supreme
I can let
Court.
bygones be bygones, as they say, and I can say that I still can be okay with him being vice president. Usually, you like your president to be a conservative, a strong conservative, and you pick a moderate. You pick a moderate vice president to wait out the ticket.
Don't forget Chris Christie.
No,
Governor.
He doesn't bring anything.
But he was
New
early
Jersey
on,
and New York,
and he still stands behind Trump at his rallies.
We made him Attorney General a long time ago. Yeah, we made him.
I agree.
Yeah,
I'm just saying, don't neglect.
Oh no, Christie's in the cabinet, and Rubio wants a cabinet job. He wants a job because he is coming around. Little Marcos made some nice comments lately.
There's not a job for a Cabana Beach boy.
I say Little Marco gets a job. I think he gets a job. He's young enough to go in and say, I made a mistake with the Gang of 8. They hung it around my neck, and I never got over the Gang 8.
What job would you give me?
Thank you, sir. May I have another? That's right. I don't know, but Little Marco wants a job. And I think he ought to get a job. I think he ought to get a job. Look who's come around. I tell you who I'd give a job to in a heartbeat. I'd give a job to Rick Perry down there in Texas.
Oh, immediately, yeah.
Immediately.
Secretary of Defense.
He's already, I don't know about, maybe, but I'd give him a job in a heartbeat. You're going to see some of those 17 that he fought with, they're going to get pretty good jobs, because the one thing's for sure, and I know we talked about it early on when we were having the debate, little forums over there, get together, when there was actually 17, a lot of us talked about, there were, out of 17, there were 14, 15 very good candidates on that stage. So there's a pretty good cabinet, not just presidential candidates. There's a pretty good cabinet sitting on that stage for Donald Trump.
How about Jeb Bush?
I'd give him a job. I'd give Jeb Bush a job.
Lincoln did that. He had his cabinet of rivals.
Ben Carson would get a job tomorrow. Rick Perry would get a job tomorrow. I'd call the guy in Louisiana, Bobby Jindal. Bobby Jindal would have a job tomorrow. Yeah. I think don't get caught off guard to hear Scott Walker on the short list for VP to bring Wisconsin in the Midwest.
I agree. I see that happening.
Don't get caught off guard to see Wisconsin Because even though Scott Walker endorsed Cruz strongly, very strongly, he wasn't soft about it, he didn't go out there and call Trump every name in the book. He endorsed Cruz. So there's not a real backlog of sound bites of him coming out and saying nasty stuff.
Yeah, right.
But so I'm saying that.
Interestingly, there was a interview this morning on the Hugh Hewitt show. His stand-in, Hewitt's on holiday, who was a Democratic, one of these strategists, but currently without portfolio. And the direct questions this interviewer asked the guy, and the answers he gave were absolutely revealing. Hillary, he said, will not carry Ohio, Indiana, Illinois, the Rust Belt, or the coal country, because she has ruined that. And he said Trump will win. I thought that was brilliant.
I think Donald Trump will win the nation. We'll have to see what happens after tonight. I think
Republicans had better get on his side. It's time to.
They're starting to, and
It's
tonight
time to
tonight they will. And tonight, Ted Cruz will receive phone calls from some pretty strong Republicans saying, "Ted, you're now hurting the party."
There are three. I read today was on Drudge. Maybe there are three big donors totally supporting Ted Cruz.
Yeah, I read that too.
Probably those who supported
But
Jeb Bush earlier.
tonight, the Republican Party needs to say,
Yep.
"Hey, several in the Republican Party need to give Ted a call and say, now you're hurting the party. Now you have gone. If you go any further,
If they want the party to survive.
at this
Otherwise,
time, we
we're
always
out
like
there.
to save some space at the end of the show for George and some final thoughts. So, George, what do you have for us today?
Well, I'm going to read that essay I finished this morning. The Glory of the Obama Legacy. This year's annual Washington's Correspondents' Dinner, Obama's last try as a stand-up comedian, disintegrated into a tawdry example of second-class citizens laughing at uncouth third-class jokes by an almost unknown Negro comedian who, because he was a Negro and on the cast of Saturday Night Live, assumed he could freely use trash talk, including the N-word, to describe America's first half-black president without repercussions. We wait. It is now a day or two later, and apparently he was correct. We see or hear of no repercussions from the liberal far-left media, so can we suppose that the pendulum is swinging back and it is once again okay to use the N-word? Fat chance. The dinner was a celebration of Obama's blackness, a tepid recognition supposedly of his accomplishments. Whatever he has done will forever be cast in the light of the liberal mantra of doing good and meaning well. One article I read said it was the start of Obama's canonization, where he will soon become Sweet Jesus, then Saint Obama. Too bad he's not Catholic. Sad, actually, because Islam has no saints and he is no prophet, so he has nowhere to go. Let's briefly examine his accomplishments. Obama touts as his major achievement the unenforceable and collapsing Iranian nuclear agreement. He brags about his Paris Climate Change Accord and his Asian Nations Trade Deal, the TPP. Nowhere does Obama or his mouthpieces make a clear case why these issues matter or how they advance our national well-being. Yet he claims no responsibility, not even marginally, for the Libyan debacle, the Benghazi murders, Fast and Furious, the less than 3% annual GDP for 8 years, the loss of America's workforce, the importation of Islamic jihadists, or the disaster that is Obamacare. Admittedly, Osama bin Laden's death did occur on his watch, and somehow he has managed to get the GOP to fund all his schemes, soaring America's debt and deficit to near bankruptcy levels. Obama's self-image is that he is a wise, strong leader who stands courageously committed to his progressive principles in enforcing unconstitutional domestic policies, his determination to stamp out the Second Amendment, his regret that Americans refuse to embrace his global warming climate policies that is allegedly threatening the environment, and the desperate need that government must increase taxes on the producers and the wealthy to fund his wild schemes. One must certainly ask, who is this wonderful man? And why isn't he doing these things for the country instead of against it? Well, it's because Obama is clueless when it comes to governing. He practiced a let's wait and see policy before rendering any decision, but only after collusion with his progressive brain trust. No president has ever demonstrated such sheer incompetence in foreign affairs. His foreign policy has been a failure involving Americans in campaigns it can no longer fix. His indecision, both militarily and diplomatically, failed to remove Bashar Assad from Syria. Remember the red line? Thus encouraging the genocide that followed, the involvement of Russia and Iran in that country, and the total loss of U.S. influence with its friends and allies alike. The Egyptians managed to repair his meddling in their affairs with the violent ouster of the Muslim Brotherhood. Obama's latest learned reaction, we have determined that we have nothing to determine.
Well, George, I'm glad you I'm glad you wrote concerning that subject. I'm glad you wrote that. You can find George's short takes. Go to fetchyournews.com and go to the opinion section. If you hover over the top, the news section, when it blows up there, and you'll see all the categories. You go to opinion, and George's opinion pieces are in there. His short takes. I'm glad you did that one this morning. Folks, stay tuned before I close up the show. Stay tuned right after these messages for a statement from a paid statement from a candidate. Let me get everything straight here. Today is Tuesday, so we have a paid statement from a candidate. And then after that statement from a candidate, we have Oscar Poole, Inspirational Moments with Oscar Poole. And then after that, we have the Morning Report with Kevin Hensley, North Georgia's only live online newscast. So stay with us right around 10 o'clock. We have the Morning Report coming up with North Georgia News. So stay with us on that. Folks, I'm a little concerned at 4:30 today. Today is the last day in the state of Georgia that Governor Deal has to sign legislation that passed in the 2016-2017 session. 2016 session, I'm sorry, I got 2015-2016 session. This is the last day for him to pass or sign or veto legislation laying on his desk. Now, yesterday he signed the budget and handed the pen to State Senator Charlie Bethel over there in Dalton. Governor signed the budget. But today the campus carry is laying on his desk. So folks, don't get caught off guard around 4:30 today. Somewhere on your telephone you get an alert, breaking news, Governor Deal vetoes campus carry. My guest tomorrow will be Rick Jaspers. Representative Rick Jaspers will be my guest tomorrow. Rick Jaspers is the original sponsor of campus carry and the gun bill, open carry, 2 years ago that was passed. Rick Jaspers will be the guest tomorrow. So we will be talking to him one way or the other about whatever the governor's actions are, Representative Jaspers tomorrow. So don't miss that on the show. Follow us on Facebook. I'll put up there what time we're going to talk to him. FetchYourNews.com on Facebook. Follow us on Twitter at FetchYourNews.com. Hashtag GMFTO. So we're out of here. We'll be back tomorrow morning at 8 o'clock. North Georgia's only live online morning show. Now, a message from a candidate here in North Georgia, and then Oscar Poole's Inspirational Moments. And then stay tuned for North Georgia's only live online newscast, The Morning Report with Kevin Hensley.
Bye,
Lonnie,
y'all.
take us out of here.
Bye, y'all. See you tomorrow.